Have you ever wondered why you were born? Why this world keeps spinning with joy and suffering side by side? We chase success, love, happiness, but none of them stay. Every victory fades. Every pleasure slips away like water through the hands. And still, deep inside, something keeps whispering, "What is all this for?" The Buddha didn't come to give us comforting beliefs. He came to awaken us from our false ideas, to help us see life as it truly is, and to help us look at ourselves honestly. He asked us not to look up to heaven, but to look into our own hearts and minds, to see the causes of desire and the causes of our pain. According to the original teachings, what we can discover is the true purpose of life is not to worship, not to wait for heaven, but to awaken, here and now, in this very breath. What if the true goal of life is not to become someone, but to see beyond the fixed idea of me we clinging to? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes we'll walk the same path the Buddha walked. From confusion to clarity. From searching to freedom. Section 1, the original Buddhist view. The purpose of life is to end suffering. No matter how rich we become, we still suffer. No matter how powerful we are, we still grow old, fall sick, and die. Look around. We try to make life comfortable with money, status, and relationships. But behind every wall, fear is waiting. Fear of losing what we have. Fear of being harmed. Fear that nothing will ever go as we wish. When life disobeys our plans, anger rises. When things go our way, craving quietly grows. Even happiness is fragile. It can break at any time. This is what the Buddha called dukkha. The stress and dissatisfaction we all feel because nothing lasts. Not just pain, but the subtle restlessness that haunts even our brightest moments. Think of it. Kings and billionaires cannot buy freedom from aging, sickness, or death. An earthquake can swallow a city. A storm can erase everything overnight. Rich or poor, no one escapes change, impermanence. Even our planet trembles. Earthquakes, floods, wildfires, poison skies. These are not random tragedies. They follow cause and effect. As the Buddha said, when ignorance and craving rule the mind, suffering follows, just as a shadow follows the body. So the purpose of human life is not to escape suffering, but to understand it deeply and transform it with wisdom and compassion. To see it clearly, until wisdom breaks the chain. When we see the cause, we stop feeding it. And when we stop feeding it, suffering ends. That is the beginning of freedom. Freedom from suffering does not mean the end of feeling. It means the end of being ruled by feeling. Section 2. The Teaching Explained by Buddha 1. We are born to train and transform. Human life is not meant for indulgence. It is meant for training. To learn to guide the body and to steady the mind. To master the body is to live without being ruled by craving or emotion. To master the mind is to keep it calm, bright, and peaceful, no matter what happens. As Buddha said, the one who truly practices the Buddha's way is the one who understands birth, aging, sickness, and death, and no longer fears them. This mastery is not mystical. It is discipline, clarity, and compassion in motion. 2. The final purpose. Liberation means freedom from the endless cycle of craving and chasing the next thing, right here in this moment. The Buddha never asked us to believe in unseen worlds. He pointed instead to what is happening right here. The roots of suffering in our own hearts, ignorance and desire. When the mind no longer clings, when craving dissolves into understanding, wisdom arises and liberation blooms here and now. The Vietnamese elder Thich Thong Lac wrote, "True liberation is a deep stillness beyond joy and sorrow, the mind untouched by craving." We do not wait for death to find nirvana. We discover it in the silence of a mind free from grasping. 3. Living by moral integrity, the foundation of life's purpose. The meaning of life is not found in intellect or belief, but in ethical action. Every precept the Buddha gave is a lesson in cause and effect, a gentle guide on how to live peacefully, harmlessly, awake. To keep even one precept purely is to strengthen goodness, reduce harm, and lighten the world. As the Vietnamese elder Thich Thong Lac said, "To hold one precept is to grow one virtue, lessen one evil, and ease suffering for oneself and others. That is liberation." This is the path of transformation. Not a path of belief, but of living truth, where morality, meditation, and wisdom unite, and the purpose of life quietly reveals itself. Section 3. Practicing in modern life. The Buddha's wisdom was never meant for temples alone. It was meant for life itself, for the marketplace, the kitchen, the office, the street. So how do we live this ancient truth in our modern world? 1. Live with mindfulness. To live mindfully is to know. To know what we are doing. To know what we are saying. To know what we are thinking. When awareness touches every moment, life slows down. Clarity replaces confusion, and peace quietly returns. 2. Keep the basic precepts. To keep the precepts is not to obey rules blindly. It is to protect the heart from regret and turmoil. Do not harm yourself or others in body, speech, or thought. That alone is already the beginning of enlightenment. Every action is a seed. When we act with kindness, peace naturally follows. 3. Meditate correctly. Meditation is not escape. It is a mirror showing the mind as it truly is. When we observe the breath, the thoughts, the emotions, we begin to see impermanence. Everything changes. We begin to see non-self. Nothing truly belongs to me. And in that clear seeing, craving fades. The heart becomes light, free. 4. Let go and know contentment. Modern life teaches us to chase endlessly. More wealth, more praise, more pleasure. But the Dhamma teaches the art of enough. To let go is not to lose. It is to stop carrying what was never ours. When we know contentment, peace becomes effortless. The middle way is not indulgence or denial, but balance in every moment. 5. Live for the greater good. A wise life is never selfish. Compassion is its natural fragrance. Every word, every gesture, every decision can be an act of kindness. When we live for the well-being of all, our life itself becomes a prayer. Not spoken, but lived. Section 4. The conclusion. The awakening of everyday life. The purpose of human life is to be free from suffering, to understand the nature of birth and death, and to walk the path of training that leads to true peace. Through mindfulness, meditation, and moral integrity, we learn to master body and mind. We learn to live with wisdom, compassion, and balance, not only for ourselves, but for all beings. This is not a teaching to be believed. It is a truth to be practiced and experienced. No book, no teacher, not even the Buddha himself, can walk the path for you. You must walk it. You must breathe it. You must live it. As the Vietnamese elder Thich Thong Lac once said, Buddhism is a human ethics that helps people build a heavenly life right here on earth. So don't just speak about it. Live it. May your practice be steady, your heart kind, and your life a quiet example of awakening in action. Because the real heaven is the peace you build within your own mind